boxer, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
I haven't seen Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know.
This fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement.
Floyd Mayweather has once again shocked the boxing world by calling out Jake Paul following the cancellation of Gervonta "Tank" Davis' fight due to Davis' ongoing legal issues. Mayweather announced he's willing to step in and face Jake, and this time, he claims it would be a real, fully professional bout, not an exhibition. He also made it clear he's not moving weight classes or delaying, suggesting that if the showdown happens, it will take place under true pro-fight conditions. The unexpected challenge has set the sport buzzing, with fans eager to see whether Mayweather is seriously gearing up for a legitimate return to the ring.
But at the time, people badly wanted you and Jake Paul to fight. Is that someone you're interested in, or no?
Well, if you go back, you got to do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it. He's making good money, and he's...
Due to the ongoing lawsuit and investigation, Gervonta Davis' highly anticipated exhibition match against Jake Paul has officially been cancelled. His promoter, Most Valuable Promotions, released a statement confirming they are reviewing the situation and have chosen not to move forward with the event under these circumstances.
Tank has one job, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference. Boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, and the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in. I want to say it was like 8.
Davis is currently facing a civil lawsuit filed by his former girlfriend, Courtney Roselle, over an alleged incident that took place on October 27th at the Miami nightclub where she is employed. The lawsuit accuses him of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. According to the complaint, Davis allegedly dragged and assaulted Roselle through multiple areas of the venue, including the stairwell, kitchen, and parking garage. Miami Gardens law enforcement has confirmed that an active investigation is underway alongside the civil case.
There were many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, he's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability with what you've seen to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his
No,
mindset's at.
With Tank's fight now off the table, Floyd Mayweather has stepped in and called out Jake Paul. Mayweather hasn't held back in his assessment of Paul's skills. He acknowledges Jake's crossover success and entertainment value, but refuses to consider him a true boxer. Floyd has repeatedly said that facing Jake would be an easy matchup, insisting Paul wouldn't pose a real threat to someone of his pedigree. While he respects the lucrative lane Jake has built, Mayweather believes that stepping into the ring with an elite fighter would expose the significant gap in Paul's technique, training, and overall level of competition.
They're really confident, they really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have a full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
And if you watch his fight in 2013 when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of these fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me feel like this guy is a piece of... And
additionally, many fans still feel there are unanswered questions from Mayweather's career, largely because he rarely granted rematches. In contrast, Jake Paul has built much of his resume by beating opponents who are significantly older, past their prime, or much smaller than him. Even Mayweather has cautioned against overhyping Jake, noting that while Paul brings excitement and spectacle to boxing, his choice of opposition raises serious doubts about his true ability. Floyd warned that once Jake steps in against a legitimate, elite-level fighter, the result could quickly reveal the limits of his skills.
Many celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. So there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that, is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Well, let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has uh, made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about whether
Reports also suggest that Mayweather is now eyeing a fight with Mike Tyson, and analysts see this as more than just another payday. They argue that Floyd's interest reflects his desire to remain the sport's biggest headline, even in retirement. With the spotlight shifting toward the once-planned Davis versus Paul matchup, Mayweather appears unwilling to let anyone, not even his own protege, overshadow him. Observers say this is classic Floyd, a figure who thrives on attention, rivalry, and the pursuit of legacy. As Gervonta and Jake build toward their own spectacle, Mayweather's rumored move signals a bigger narrative, the ongoing battle among boxing legends to stay relevant in a rapidly evolving sports landscape.
Technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement: Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, Francis Ngannou. I mean, come on, we'll get into them. And Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. Bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that one, because he was up for the fight. But Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul. But that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star. He's a big public figure. Loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is. He's just a big name. Good-looking kid. Great fighter. Fast stands. And he's quite controversial as well. So that'd be a good fight. But the weight disparity, again, it's too big. So for me, when I say it'd be a good fight, it'd be interesting to see how Ryan Garcia would go in against Jake Paul. But to be honest, Jake Paul's far too big for him. So who else we've got? Terence Crawford. I can't see Terence Crawford entertaining this, but then you never know, do you? If the old bunts make sense, then it makes people do strange things. And Terence Crawford's getting on now. What is he, 37, 38 years old? Had a great win against Canelo. Would he jump in with Jake Paul for mega money? Probably. He'd paced him as well. I mean, Terence Crawford would be too much for Jake Paul, even though he's up at 168 in his last fight, super middleweight, my old weight division. So I don't think Jake Paul would fight him. Francis Ngannou, I mean, why even chuck Ngannou in the mix? Ngannou would just hammer him. He's too big. I mean, he talked about Anthony Joshua. That never happened, did it? It's a load of bollocks. He talked about fighting AJ, then announced he's fighting someone the size of one of AJ's legs in Gervonta Davis. So for me, that's nothing. And the Nate Diaz fight, he's already fought him. It was a rubbish